Welcome to At the Core, the intersection between neuroscience and fitness, where I have the opportunity to speak to amazing high performance movers and better understand the mindful connection to that movement. So, with no further ado, I would like to let you know who our next guest is, which is Franco Pablo Lococo. And Franco specializes in neurosensory training and cognitive coaching. He holds a degree in applied sports neurosciences from Universidad de Gran Rosario, along with certifications from Harvard Online, Z Health University, Chicago University for Neurofundamentals, Hong Kong Polytechnic University, How We See the World, and Science Vision Training Academy certified. He has applied his knowledge as a visual and cognitive coach and past profession as a professional rugby player for Argentina and Italy. He has had the opportunity to help professional rugby, MMA, UFC, combat sports, football, soccer, and hockey athletes. Franco is the creator and developer of Elite Vision Sticks, not only training principles and techniques to exploit all the benefits that the visual system and executive brain functions can bring to sports, but also training trainers all over the world so they may be able to apply it to even more people. So as you learn today, we will be talking about all the benefits of visual training, how to apply it into your life, and what that can mean for you. Welcome, Franco, and thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much, Misha. It's a pleasure to be in contact with you and with all of you. I'm here in Rosario, Argentina, and I really appreciate you called me to do this other chat.
Well, we couldn't be happier. So I'm going to start off with talking about vision in how most people would recognize vision. When we talk about vision, everybody thinks 20/20 vision, which is pretty average because that means what you can see at 20 feet away, so can the average person. And we will be discussing how vision is so much more than that and why we actually care much more about the eyeball's movement, the processing power, and the integration of that information. So, Franco, can you talk a little bit about what visual acuity is?
Well, as you have told, vision is such a complex thing that we have. If we have 2 hours, I can explain you in details how is the process about what we see and what our brain take that information and convert that in something that we need. Okay, we need to understand that what we have seen right now is not the reality, but it's our reality, because our brain take that information and make something we need to live. Then we take that to sports or to every single part of our life, what we need. But it's such a complex things to understand that it's about information that is out there, that it's light, to say in simple words, and then our eyes convert that light in nervous impulse that our brain understands. And there is a part of our brain that convert that information and make image about that. And then that image goes where we need, and then we do something with that information. And sometimes we imagine that information. Sometimes we take context of this information, and sometimes we stay and do nothing. And sometimes this information we need to move, and most of the time we need this information to move. But it depends about how our brain discover and treat and process that information, and also about our mind and our emotions, how they they manage this information. So it's such a complex thing, but about talking about 2020 vision, it's just about optic information. Also, is the acuity that we have, our eyes has to see clear. But then there is a lot of other things that happens our brain, and the phrase that I always manage is, we don't see with our eyes, we see with our brain. Okay, so our brain do the thing, the real thing, to understand
That's really
what is
wonderful.
our environment.
There was an Arsenal ex-manager, Arsenio Wenger, that stated the quote, "The physical time dedicated to improve is now limited," referring to football players, soccer players, and in the Premier League. All the players who could not produce the quantity demanded have been kicked out of the game. Maybe the next step is to see what's going on in the brain. The next step could be speed of decision making, quality of information taking, and the flexibility of decision making. And when we talk about the neural hierarchy, which we bring up in each one of these at the core conversations, vision is on the top of that neural hierarchy. How do we apply visual drills and training to improve speed of decision making, quality of information coming in, and the flexibility of decision making?
The thing we need to understand is that information travel in space. So if we understand that, we understand there is a speed of traveling of that information that is arriving to our eyes, and then our eyes convert into an impulse, and then it travels from in all our brain to the sector, the zone of the brain that understand image, and then goes ahead if we need to make a decision to the prefrontal cortex, and then this information travel to our motor zone that create motion. Yeah, so all those milliseconds that takes to us to understand that is time. So we are always fighting against time, or trying to run against time. And if we have good quality of image, and this quality and speed of image, our brain has a good process of this information, so it's much quicker. So that's the time we need to make good decisions, and it's always it's a matter of time. Visual perception takes from 15 to 25 milliseconds normally. So if we train that, we can arrive to take 10 milliseconds maybe, or if we don't train that, we can be 50 milliseconds. That's the time we must train. Okay, that's why we need to take good visual information, convert that quickly, and then has the time to make good decision making. So the expert player has all those reels, all those experience, so he can move better and faster.
Absolutely. I completely agree. And when you talk about these milliseconds, this is the difference between a professional athlete winning and losing a game, or getting first in a Formula One race car, experience, or anything like that. So working with these athletes, I tell my clients that the trickle down effect of hairs of milliseconds making a difference to an athlete is actually seconds to us, because maybe our eyes are not as fine-tuned, maybe our bodies are not as quick and adaptive. And so visual training actually makes a massive difference in the general population, even though we talk about it a lot for the professional athlete. So in this scope, where do you see that vision training for a professional athlete has come to make and break the difference? Can you give any examples?
Well, it's not now, but about 5 years ago, Cristiano Ronaldo has a test about most of his skills. And one of those was about his vision. So it comes that he has a talent about vision that most other people or players has not. That is a couple of things. First of one is the control of the eye movement. So he see where he want to see. That is the difference between seeing whatever I have in front of me. Then I say my eyes move to see what I need. So he has an opposite player in front of him, and he knows where to see, maybe in the knee or in the foot, to understand where to move. But he controls his eyes perfectly. Another no expert eye or not expert player will watch everywhere, losing time. That's the first thing. First thing is conscious movement, eye movement, okay, and accuracy, precise. The other thing is his clearly power about trajectory. I don't know understand the word precisely. Prevent trajectory, or to understand first the trajectory of the ball. Okay, that's a thing that our brain do, making a huge calculation about the trajectory of the object. So he was so talented in that, and that you can watch him, make him watch a ball going to a center and close the light, and he will understand where to hit the ball with the head, because he understands the trajectory of the object, the ball. Okay, and this is a huge talent that most of the players have. For example, baseball players train that, because if they not train that, they cannot even never hit the ball. Okay, that's a huge important thing, to see the ball leaving the hand of the pitcher, and then not even follow the ball, just understand where the ball will go. So that's the thing that we need to train then, with a few protocols, and talking about visual abilities, as you know, we do with our visual sticks.
Yeah. So as we trickle this down towards people that might be listening that have cataract surgery or monovision or impairments, double vision, all of these things, don't like to drive at night. How do we start them? What would be the approach towards visual training? What would be examples of exercises and drills that they should start doing to improve their visual acuity?
But there is four important or main visual abilities we need to understand, to know, and then to train. One of them is saccadic eye movement, or you tell saccades. Our vision fundamental is microsaccadic eye movement. So our eyes are moving every time, everywhere, every time you have the eye open. Our seeing is clearly because our eyes move quickly with microsaccadic eye movement. Then our eyes do saccadic eye movement. So quick fixation. And that is one of the most important things to do, because the accuracy, the precision of this movement will give you a better results and a better image. Yeah, fixations also are really important. So stay with your gaze fixed much longer, for about 100 milliseconds, maybe 200 milliseconds. It's really important because you will have more information about the point you are watching. Yes, and then there is the peripheral vision, really important for everyday life, because we need to do that to drive or to walk around. We receive 100 millions of units of information more with the peripheral vision than with the cognitive conscious vision. The conscious vision is where you are watching because you say your eyes watch there. So we need to train this, so make much sensitive the peripheral vision to understand better where we are moving. It's about body awareness and body conscious. That is really important to move around the spaces. And the other is the depth perception, about how we see, and our brain miss you the distance between us and all the objects around us. So that's the first thing to understand, that we can train, and they are so important for our lives.
That's amazing. So to recap, for those of you that may be new to vision drills, the 4 aspects are eye saccades, also considered jumping your eyes. For example, if you had your thumbs out to the sides and jumping your eyes from one thumb to the next. The second would be talking about fixation, which is holding your gaze and being able to stabilize your eyes on a fixed object, working endurance. The third is peripheral vision, which we very tend not to work, and opening up what we can see around us. And the fourth being depth perception, and understanding how far things are from us as a ball comes at us, so that we are able to react better with faster speeds. So I learned something from you, Franco, and it blew my mind. It was like fireworks to my brain. And you only spent a couple seconds talking about it with me, and I've held on to this, and it's meant so much to me. And that is that when we are exhausted, which all of us have had and all of us get almost on a daily basis, we tend to lose focus. And when we tend to lose focus, we have a higher risk of injury and likelihood for mistakes. And you have an interesting approach in how to actually increase our focus during exhaustion to reduce our chance of injury and mistakes. Will you mind explaining that a little bit?
For sure. We are talking about attention. This is, a lot of people is talking about attention and the war of attention that these devices are taking about us. The really problem of the modern life is losing our attention in many things, because our brain is not prepared to has so many inputs arriving to us. So we distract. Yeah, we have distraction. All distractions arrive from visual attention, because we are using our eyes to watch everywhere. So to try to be longer and higher quality of attention, we need to power that. Meanwhile, maybe you are doing some exercises, okay? If you are doing something and then you want to rest between series or between the exercises, it's better not to lose focus, as you say, not to lose attention, or not to lose the brain activity doing anything that could not be staying doing something with your mind. So if you need to get rest or recover your breath, it's better than you are doing something cognitive. So thinking, making some calculation or making words or something that make our activity not to get down. Always stay there, because you will be less of oxygen and glucose in your brain, and to obtain more results on that is what I call cognitive rest. So doing something cognitive, reading or trying with this visual sticks, memorizing something, reading and memorizing and repeating, or as I told, making calculation and reading something, or try to remember something. That will, there is a lot of charts and exercise to do, but first of the things is not to lose that focus and try to obtain more of our brain doing that.
That is really amazing to me. It's that idea of building endurance, just like we try to in all of our muscles. Most people understand the benefits of increasing endurance by heart health and muscular tone. And the same goes for vision. And I think that a lot of people do not realize that impact. And for me, that was so eye opening, because as I look back at my injuries, look back at other people I know, it has all come primarily, if it's not from ego, it's driven from exhaustion.
Yes, yes, I understand. Most of all did not understand that when we open our eyes, there is a tsunami of information arriving to our brain. That's why we have a lot of activation. If we has any device that measure modulation of our brain, will show you when you has your eye closed, trying to make some mindfulness or visualization, and then you open your eyes quickly and the visual information arrives, your brain explodes everywhere in all the in all the hertz of the electricity that cover our brain. So visual information, it's such a great powerful instrument to get always activate our brain. That's why you and most of the people that work with people that get some disease, so TBI or Parkinson or Alzheimer, try to work a lot vision and cognition to maintain our neurons activated as much as possible. Also, I must say that there are 4 cranial nerves that works with the eyes. Okay, 4 cranial nerves that moves our eyes, move our extraocular muscles, and one such important nerve that is the optic nerve that send image. Is the only nerve that only send image and send information to the brain and not receive any information. So there are 5 different nerves that control our eyes. So is that why it's so
Huge.
important?
Yeah. You know, for a long time, I've been doing vision exercises, and often with my thumbs or with pens and pencils. But not all vision training exercises, even when done the same drill, surmount to the same amount of cognitive load, as you say. And that is why I was so interested in your Elite Vision Sticks, because it's not just about jumping your eyes or fixating your eyes, but it's then a cognitive response or task involved that requires some level of then acting and reacting. Can you explain more about your Elite Vision Sticks why they upregulate the cognitive aspects, why it makes your vision training work. You know, if time is money, it's much more good use of your time. Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. Well, the lead vision sticks I create with a lot of knowledge with T Health and SVTI protocols. That is an Italian protocol of training or visual training. So I try to put all together in these sticks. The difference between that and any panels or any app or lights that you can have is that you can use your visual sticks here, sit in this place right now, or in a football field, or in a park, or in a parking, or whatever you like, or in a train, everywhere. You can handle, you can bring that with you and do your visual abilities exercise or some cognitive things to do, because there are a lot of different drills that you can create and you can do. There are some basic exercise, and then the thing is that you can build your own for any discipline you like. Sports, rehab, strength and condition, whatever you like. They are full of colors and a lot of inputs that you can remember, you can memorize, you can read, and you can create some words, or you can search for something in here that will get always your brain active. Yeah. So talking about attention, visual attention, there are a lot of things you can do, as you can try when we do the webinar. There's a lot of things, nice things, and really enjoyable things to do with the sticks that create movement and also create a lot of cognition, and both.
Yes, absolutely. I think that's the most amazing aspect of it, is that you are limited by your creativity, and there's no end in sight to how you can use these sticks. And for those of you listening to it through a podcast, not getting to see them physically, these visual sticks have colors, they have words, arrows, they have denotations through the Stroop effect. And all of these things allow you to make use of all of these different signs, whether it be head motions, eye motions, stepping motions. Your creativity, as I say, is where it ends for you. So, Franco, we have a lightning round of questions. These are questions that I ask after every single At the Core interview. They're the same exact questions, and it's whatever comes to your mind the fastest. So, are you ready?
Yeah, I am.
Working out, morning, afternoon, or night?
I like to work in the morning.
Sweet or salty?
Salty.
Planks or squats?
Squats.
Shoes or barefoot?
Shoes.
Beach or mountains?
Oh, beach, always.
Music or silence?
A lot of music.
Heat or cold?
Heat.
Inside or outside?
Outside.
Jasmine or peppermint?
Peppermint.
Spontaneous or planned?
No, spontaneous.
Learn something new or perfect something known?
Learn something new. Always learning things.
Franco, this was wonderful. As you said from the very beginning, we could have spent 2 hours on just speaking about how the visual system works, let alone how to actually develop it, enhance it. We will be putting your Instagram page on our links so that you can go check it out and see much more of how to integrate these aspects. We hope we've opened your eyes to many more ways of how your vision impacts your movement, your speed, your decision making, and everything else. So Franco, I open it up to you. If you want to add anything we've missed, anything you would like to share, I would love for you to let the audience know.
Not. I think I talk about all the things. There is a lot more, but I say to all the people, try to maybe read something or ask something about visual system and how vision can help you for all day life. Okay, it's not just sports and it's not just rehab, it's just be better every time because your brain works better if you see better and you move better if you see
Absolutely.
better.
Absolutely.
So
I think that is the biggest takeaway, that often they say that vision or eyes are the window to your soul, but I really truly believe that eyes are the window to your opportunity. And if you focus and work your vision, you will experience a heightened performance in anything, whether you be a professional athlete or just wanting your daily life to improve. So thank you so much, Franco, for this conversation. And I hope that each and every one of you got something out of this. And we look forward to welcoming you back to At the Core.
Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you got something out of it. We'll have many more videos that help you with rehabbing your shoulder, low back, knees, and everything else that will allow you to be active and healthy through all the things that you love in life. Please feel free to follow us on all our various social media channels, and we hope to see you back soon.